DJ House Thing, sound kind of special. Welcome, folks. Samson to LIBERIA Public Radio. We want to thank all of you again for tuning into LIBERIA Public Radio. Just thank you for even testing our sound. We appreciate it, folks. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's the song by Franco. Franco himself, Crumfo Blay, he's from the Ivory Coast. But that's the beautiful, beautiful, beautiful song. Franco, he's a friend, we're friend with him now on Facebook. So I'm sure it's late over there in the Ivory Coast. So hopefully he'll be watching tomorrow. Franco, thank you for the beautiful music. We always appreciate all of you guys from the Ivory Coast that continue to make our music, our traditional music popular. We thank you guys. We thank you very, very much. And of course, through Nathaniel Cryport, we'll continue to receive these beautiful, beautiful music. And we say thank you as well to Mr. Cryport, who is our station manager for LIBERIA Public. Is he still a station manager, Mr. So? I don't know. I don't. I'm starting trouble, folks. I just want to start something off here very quickly. I'm sure tonight I'm going to be fire again before it's all over. Mr. So going to fire me again as usual for stirring trouble. First thing, because oh man, like you can't even sit down one place. You always let small children then make plow. Why don't you fire again tonight? Samson, folks, it was a wonderful, wonderful show. And here at LIBERIA Public Radio, we're all family members. There's all two of my little kids. Little brother, that is. They're grown men now, and as usual, they tell me, sit down one place, old man. We need you, he says. But thank you very much. For we have a very beautiful show here tonight. Please share the video if you can, because we're going to be discussing some serious, important things here. And once again, let me do this here. Safety, safety, safety. Take care of your car, and your car will take care of you. Folks, it's a wonderful, wonderful Monday afternoon. We thank God. We always say thank you to Jesus and thank God for the wonderful life that he continued to give us. To all our family, friends, we continue to pray for one another. And as a result, every day we're up here, we say thank God, thank God. for giving us the opportunity to even be able to get up on Monday morning and rush to work, anxious to go to work. We're not tired yet. We thank God. We're anxious to go to work. And when we get to work, we produce. The production level at work is high. That's why I'm not making it up, folks. I'm glad that I'm doing what I'm doing all day, doing design here and there. And it's very interesting as you take these roles, the role design, you take them and you make them into your own. Somebody from way to town and making California role his own and designing it and being accepted. I'm just wonderful. I say thank God for this knowledge, and we appreciate it. And that's some of the things we're going to be discussing here tonight. And let me just quickly just point out here, as I go on to make these comments that I'm going to be making tonight, it's not necessary to bring people down. It's not necessarily just to criticize. In fact, if you look at it from a perspective of a positive aspect of the railway business, it is not a criticism. And as much as it is for people to learn from each other, and so that we can impact the young engineers, civil engineers in Liberia that are going to be responsible for the design of this railway that some of us going to utilize. And so I find it within myself, the fact that I know one here and two there, whatever, I must impact the young people to say, if you're going to do this, these are some of the things you need to pay attention to, so that at least when the Ghanaians leave tomorrow, when Nigerians leave tomorrow, the young Liberians that are graduating from the colleges, the civil engineering colleges in Liberia, will be able to understand the basic of all of these engineering aspects when it comes to road design and road construction, because it's very, very important that we understand exactly what is happening. Because believe it or not, the Chinese, the Lebanese, all of the foreigners that are coming to Liberia, take it as it is. They're there to make money. They are not from town. They are there to make money. They're not there to be friends with you. You as a Liberian inspector, you as a Liberian designer, you as a Liberian engineer in charge of the road projects, you're going to demand that these people do the work based on the specification. If you don't do that, they will lay the work, make it look pretty. 2 months, a year, 2 years later, start falling apart. Because you did not expect, you did not demand that this work, the quality of these jobs are done properly to the standard that you Liberians yourself put together. If you don't have standard and depend on these people to give you standard, they will give you the standard based on their profit. Their profit margin is much more important to them than anything else. I'm being very truthful here. So from that perspective, and people in Liberia, what I like about what is happening in Liberia right now, on Dr. Weir, the freedom of speech, freedom of expression has given a new light to all of us. That somebody in Liberia would let Dr. Weir go to a project and they videotape that without scrutinizing, without even editing or whatever. They just go live. And they give us, some of us, the engineers and the people who observe these things, as giving us the opportunity to see the raw material. And I'm very grateful to people like KMTV. I'm very grateful to the Republic of Liberia, the government of the Republic of Liberia will allow KMTV to do a live streaming because they're not afraid. I get that. However, if you go a little bit deeper, then you find the flaw within the process. And I will bring those flaws out, not necessarily to criticize, but I hope my brothers and sisters will look at it to say, okay, thank you, Mr. Toll, we missed this part, we will fix it. That is my intent. It's for our brothers and sisters to look at these things that I'm going to be pointing out here tonight, for example, will look at it and challenge me. If whatever that I'm saying, if it is not within the confines of engineering practices, discard it and call me foolish man. But if it is part of engineering practices, then apply that. Don't cut corners. Because those brothers and sisters that are coming in to work in Liberia, what is the bottom line? It's the profit. They're not there to make money, to be friends with you. They want to make money. If you take me from here and take me anywhere else, the intent, whatever company that I'm going to be working for, the intent is for us to make money. We're not there to be friends with the people there, no. But it is the people's job. Those who they are the clients. And you as a client, Liberians, you as a client must demand quality work. These people are going to get paid. Whether you ask for quality work or not, they're going to get paid. They've already done their estimate. And in the estimating process, for them to get that job, to bid for that job, they have a private margin enshrined into their estimate. So don't think, say, by you asking them to do what is necessary, that you're going to be eating into their profit. No, unless, and I say unless you already have taken your cut. And perhaps if you have taken your cut, and I will deal with that later. Samson told LeBron Poblito, before I go into everything else, let's go ahead and start the show. I'm just trying to lay it out here on a very serious note, that I'm not here to degrade people. I'm not here to say things that are not of good nature. I'm just pointing out from an engineering perspective, from a construction process, their practices. These are international standard. Even if you in Liberia don't want to do international standard, that's understandable. But even in your own neck of the woods, the public way, you also have your own standard. Apply those standards and start showing us what I'm going to be showing here tonight. It's ridiculous, to be honest with you. Let's go on. Samson told LeBron Poblito. Here it is now, folks. Let's see who I'm going to be showing first. Who do you think I'm going to be showing? Let's put some money on it. Who you think I'm going to be showing? My first time talking about something here. Who you think I'm going to be showing? Of course, the President of the Republic of Liberia, Dr. Weah. Duly elected 61.5% of Liberians. He didn't come in through the back door. He didn't steal this job. In fact, he didn't play football for the job. Let's put it that way. He campaigned and won the hearts and minds of Liberians. Don't tell me, yeah, that was a long time ago. No. Unacceptable. If you believe Liberia make a mistake, well, too bad. For 6 years. And show us in the next 6 years that yes, Liberia made a mistake, and convince Liberians to accept that they made a mistake. Other than that, they 6 years duly elected. Please, let's go on. That's Dr. We are President of the Republic of Liberia. And please don't tell me, say, I want a job. I want nothing from these people. Let's be honest with that. Okay, but that's Dr. We are President of the Republic of Liberia, duly elected 61.5%. Now, let's go on, folks. Samson, I'm on the road here tonight. Let me now show you Dr. Weah during the election when he was running campaign. Now, this video that I'm about to show you also has been the video that I've been showing over the last year or so. And I keep saying Dr. Weah did this particular video for us. It seemed to me that because of this video and the fact that Dr. Weah saw how much suffering, specifically when it comes to road connecting villages to villages, how much suffering our people were going through by him experiencing that same suffering, walking in the mud. Whether it's 2 minutes or 3 minutes, it doesn't matter. But he had tasted the suffering of our people during the election. Let me play that. And then I will play you another video where now, after 2 years or so, just last week, he then explained to us why he did that. Let's watch this. Samson told LeBron Poblito.
Let's make sure you do that same thing for you so you can hold. No, I beg you.
There you have it. That was Dr. Weir during the election, walking through the mud of the countryside. Those of us that from the countryside, we feel for ourselves. Something told from Totan, I feel for myself. Because when it's rainy, and when I go to Montreal or go to LIBERIA, I'm going to Totan right away because it's rainy. No, I'm making fun of this, but on a very serious note. People from the southeastern side have, some of them, parent died, mom died, father died in the rainy season. And they're not going to be, even though the mom and father most likely told their kids, whenever anything happened to me, take me back to my village. But because of the road, bad road, they are unable to bury their parents back home in the villages from the southeastern side. Sometimes some of those that have money, they'll say, okay, let my pa and mom stay in the funeral home for a certain time until dry season time. The road issue in Liberia is costing emotional toll on our people. You have seen video or even pictures where people strap their body on the bike of a motorbike driver or whatever you want to call them. Bad roads. You have also, I know you heard this thing, where people, because of bad road, they get sick from the village just to be transported to the nearest hospital, die on the road, on their way, even in the ambulance, because bad road, ambulance will get stuck. Why is it that we as Liberians, are you telling me that we are incapable of producing decent road? That even if it's rainy, we can't make it? Far from it. Far from it. I tell you this, you look in your own community and see how many Liberian engineers you will find here in the diaspora, all over the world. Liberian engineers, why is it they are not engaged? Why is it that this government, the president have always made his business to announce to fellow Liberians that my main interest of coming to power is to put road down so that people will not suffer. And yet still, you have Liberian engineers all over the world not being engaged. You would think those that are responsible to carry out this president policy in terms of road would do some serious recruiting. Recruit Liberians, experienced Liberians that will come and impact the young engineers in Liberia. You would think they would put aside their own personal, whatever it is, and say, come on, let's work together, and not necessarily you taking job or what have you, but come and help for the young engineers to understand how these things are supposed to be done so they can carry out the work. But we're not thinking like that. We're not thinking, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. And I will show you some stuff here again tonight. I did that this gone Saturday, but I will show you some more again tonight. These are things that an experienced engineer, experienced contractor, experienced construction person would not let these things fly by. They will insist. First thing is this, in this whole civil engineering business, your number one priority in anything civil engineer, I don't know about mechanical engineer, I don't know about electrical engineer, maybe they let to fry people, maybe a mechanical engineer, maybe they let to drive their car onto the cliff. I don't, that's their business. But in my own civil business, number one priority as a civil engineer, designer, what are designing superstructure, vertical structure, or horizontal structure, your number one priority is safety. You don't want to put something out there that somebody's going to get hurt on. In fact, here in the United States, if you do a job, a roadway, and something accident happen, places like California get sued all the time. And then you as a designer going to go to court and defend your project. And mind you now, they're not just how to call it, lawyers. They're going to bring engineers that will question your process, that will question your training. What exactly was your reason to put a particular curve on this road? What's your reason? So how did you select the speed limit on this road? What gave you the right to select this particular speed limit? And you have to go through the process of explaining. When I put this curve down, here's my reason. What was the calculation? What basis for which the calculation comes about? And what was the iteration? All of these questions will come about. And so if you're doing any kinds of engineering work, number one, safety. The second most important thing is keep what you call backup cal. You do all your calculation, but you have a backup calculation. So when this thing comes about, you explain. Numbers, engineers, numbers, nothing else. Now, when I was in school, and I'm sorry to do this to you here this evening, because it's been, 500 years since I graduated from whatever school, Montpellier School, Totown High School. I don't even graduate Totown High School, but when I was in school, one of the professors that I had, it's a structure. He's always, because he recognized Samson Doe from Totown. I got no clue. True story. Let me tell you tonight. True story. When I got in, the only minority and the only total man, so he recognized that. He said, have you done this previous? I said, no, I got no clue, but I like it. He said, okay, I will help you. And one of the agreement we had, that immediately after graduation, I was going to go back to Town. And he also agreed, because he used to drink. In fact, he had a bypass. And the agreement was he's going to survive until I graduate. And true story, after graduation, about 6 months later, he was dead. And that was I went to Total myself. I'm back. But anyway, that's besides the point. One of the things that he used to do for me, he said, as long as you make an effort and mentor, how did you come up with these numbers? You can make calculations. You will make some little minor mistake here and there. But the point was, he said, mentor okay. Mentor okay. When you're doing a beam calculation, you're going to select a beam based on the weight that he's going to give us the test time. Okay? How do you do your distribution? Okay? Moment distribution. When you start doing these things, there are a lot of numbers you're going to come up with. A lot of numbers. because you have all of the connections that you're going to be dealing with. You have to take all of those things into consideration. However, at the end, when you start your movement, when you're coming down to zero movement, you better make sure there's zero movement. However, there will be some numbers. If you go deep into it, sounds into from total, maybe 2 or 3 numbers, not quite there yet. But he said, matter, okay. Okay. The point that I'm making here is this. This engineering business, nobody is perfect. But first of all, be sincere and do your work. Do it well. Do it to the best of your ability. And so when these things comes about, something happening on your project, you can defend it because you know you have done your work. Okay? And so I show you the video of Dr. Weah walking in the mud. And the question that I ask us again is, why is it that the government of the Republic of Liberia up to this point have not, because I still see the same old faces at public work. And they continue to show something that is not workable. That is not working. They will show you some nice pavement design. Show you some real nice painting. Striping they call it, but I call it painting. Because the type of striping material they use in Liberia, it's not the kind of striping that if I were in charge that I would put down there. Because certain striping at night, they're not reflecting. And if striping, that if you, when you're driving on the people road at night, you see the striping, you can clear this. You know why? And I'm giving you right now, I'm just giving you the rough one. But all of those, the reason why is shine. Because grass bottle, they break them into pieces. And they mix it with whatever painting they have. So when they put it on the road, you're driving, but you don't see, you don't tell me you're going to take the paint and then you think say you're going to get grass cut, you know. Because fine potters. They're potters. Just a potter you pour in baby diaper. But yet still they shine. Okay? They don't have that back home. You can't see at night, most of them. But that's besides the point. The question that I'm asking tonight is, why is it that up to this point, the traffic congestion in Liberia, worse than level, they don't even forget it. There is not a fall off a chart. You have A, B, C, and D. They don't even, it's not even F, because the level of service they have, it fall off the chart. You can't even quantify that. Why? Why? You only have 4 lanes. Tottenham Boulevard, 4 lanes. 2 going, 2 coming. And we cannot maintain traffic in Monrovia. Why? Is it because we're incapable of estimating the driver behavior? Because as an engineer, that's one of the things you do. How do you influence the driver behavior? We can't do that. But every time, the president, he has done his job. He continued to focus on the road issues. But he's not an engineer, for Christ's sake. Why is it that you people that are responsible are not giving him something decent? He will ask, he's a politician, for Christ's sake. Even here in the United States, the politician, they want to do something right now, so their constituents can see that they're working. But it is the job of those that are working with the politician to give them something decent. They go to the community. They say, we know the president said he wants X, Y, and Z. But this thing takes time. Here are the processes involved. Educate the community so that the community know that when the president says he needs it next week, it's most likely not going to happen because it takes process. But the fact that the president said, I want it next week, that's his job. We have to understand that that's his job to demand certain things be done. But you, as a technician, you who know the process, you tell the president how long these things take. What are the processes involved? He's not going to agree with you. Most likely not, because you're wasting his time. He wants something done now so the constituents, the people he's working for, so they can see that Dr. Weir is working. So you're going to come to him, something he wants in 2 months. Then he tells you, oh, Mr. President, because of the rainy season, it's going to take 1 year. So he would not agree. But it is your job. Because if he believes in you and hire you to do a specific job, and you're very truthful with him, because you didn't pay 5 cents to get that job, and you tell Mr. President, I don't mind doing these things, but this is the end result. If we rush this thing and do it in the rainy season, this is how long the process, after it is done, this is how long before it starts spoiling, in a Liberian way, spoiling. And you point those things out. Nowadays, this is what really bothers me about these people. Nowadays, as I'm talking to you, you can go and Google anything that I say here when it comes to engineering. When I talk about movement distribution a few minutes ago, you go on Google right now and say movement distribution. They will give you Medusa. Something too. Ah, yes. Why did I have to say that again, Medusa? Oh, I thought I was done with that word 50 years ago. Medusa is a snake that had too many heads. But that's what movement distribution would do to you. You put a low on here, and all of your connection is a distributed movement. You got Medusa. You got too many places you can go. But that's besides the point. Okay? So if you tell the president, this is it, Mr. President, once he knows, that's all we are. Every one of us has a human being. If I tell you the truth, you test my truth, and you find out what I'm saying is true. First time, it's a flu. Sounds into it. You're bluffing it. You're happy that you were lucky at all. He will not trust me right away. Second time, that man from Total, every time he says something, it comes true. My man. What happened here? Okay, let's see again. Third time, fourth time. The next time he wants pavement done. You call something. Something told how long you think that thing gonna take? Because I've given him reason now to believe that I'm not doing it to degrade his process. I'm not doing it to slow him down, but I'm doing it to give him something that is durable, that the community will latch on years from now. And once he finds that out, that I'm being truthful, I'm not in it just for the money. In fact, one of the things that if I was in charge, I would do, I would tell Mr. President, you want to go to some of these community projects and things like that, and you want people thinking, I will not be there. I don't think I want to do that. Because you asked me to produce something for you. I want it to be genuine. You want to inspect my work, Mr. President, you're welcome to it. But don't come with these 50 people singing, Hallelujah, Jesus Christ. That's not what I do. Those are things that you tell human beings, they would agree once, 2 or 3 times. They know you're truthful, and you're seeking the interest of the republic, not necessarily being singing praises and stuff like that for the president himself. He's a human being. Sooner or later, either he fire you, and once he knows deep inside of him that you didn't pay anything, you got this job because of what you can do, and not how much you pay, he will not get rid of you very easily because he will want to trust you. Folks, this is Samson told Liberian Public Radio. I'm giving you these type of information here tonight because these things are very painful, the way I see things going. So let's go on. Enough of lecturing here. Let's go on. Let's hear what the president talked about, his project. And this is the reason, the last comment that I made, that I don't want to be part of the praise sinking when it comes to the project, if I were part of them. And the president himself told these people, don't sing for me. Don't tell me thank you. This is my job. It is my responsibility to do this. He said that. Let's listen to, if I'm making it up, yeah, come, Mr. Doctor, we are going to tell us. Don't tell me thank you. In fact, if anything, I should be grateful to you guys for putting me in this position to do what I'm doing for you. If somebody comes and make that kind of statement. Because here's the thing, when you go to the public gathering and the president, you all start sinking and stuff like that, you miss the mark. Because now you're out of the realm of being real. Because everybody not praising. Because if I praise, and Alfonso in praise, good president, we might not let Alfonso. So if I praise a little bit, Alfonso will come and praise more. Then I come back and praise more. Because I want to, you see where I'm going with this thing? These things are not necessary. Let's listen to Dr. We are telling us that I don't need for you to thank me. I'm the one who's supposed to thank you for putting me in this position to do what I want to do for you. Samson, let's listen in.
This is the right thing to do. Our country, it doesn't matter how many homes you got there, if no roads to connect, it's not completed. So I am happy with my road projects. From the capital to the hinterland, I will continue to believe in my road projects. Anyone that will come after me will find something else to do. But I think that Liberia, being the first African republic, also needs a road network. And this is what we're doing. You don't need to tell me that's my responsibility. I need to thank you for making me to serve the country.
I need to thank you for making me to serve you and the country. Why will you start singing praises when he already told you, I don't need that? I need for you to say, I need to thank you. Basically, what he's saying to this people, if I give you a job, don't sing praises. Do the job and do it right. Now, let's listen to the Minister of Public Works. Let's see what he's saying as well. Let's see. Let's listen in. And I don't fault him for that. He's a politician as well. Because remember now, he used to be senator. So he knows how to play this game. That's fine. But those that are also honoring the minister, you need to be in a position of giving him factual information. Let's listen. Samson told LIBERIA Public Radio. Let's listen to Minister Nyimpan, exactly what he's going to be telling us here. Oh, I didn't put that up there. Oh, sorry. Let's listen to the minister. Hello.
Today we are beginning a very, very important inspection of projects. Right? In your community, your project is the first that the president has come to visit to see what we are doing. And the president is very, very happy. For us at the Ministry of Public Works, we are very happy that East International, especially with you Liberia workers, that you can do this kind of work. We are impressed. The president said Liberians will not be spectators in their own economy. And so, when we do these road projects, besides beautifying our communities and providing access for our people, we are also providing employment opportunities for Liberians. So thank you, and His Excellency is beginning the inspection of projects in Mosorado County.
Folks, if you're somebody who is a political junkie and listen to the minister, I hope you'll be able to pick a few things. And you can tell that he's a smart politician. He's a seasoned politician. Listen, I'll play again. But before I play, let me put this thing out there. What was he going to say? He said, we want to thank you. The international, you were getting ready to say international worker. That we believe, that he said, as a Liberian worker. Why you think he said international, what? International community, international? What do you think he was going with that? But when he recognized that he was supposed to put Liberian worker in it, because this company are down Liberians' own company. So then he's saying, Liberian worker. In order for people to cheer for him as a seasoned politician, I love this man. I love this politician. As a political junkie, these are things, if you come to politics, that's a real politician. The president said, according to him, Liberians will not be spectators in their own economy. Of course, after he almost told us, and let me play that again. Folks, Samson told LIBERIA Public Radio, I love these seasoned politicians from Liberia. Let's sing that again. Let's see. He almost spilled the beans, but he was able to catch himself very quickly. Let's listen.
Today we are beginning a very, very important inspection of projects, right? And your community, your project is the first that the president has come to visit to see what we are doing. And the president is very, very happy. For us at the Ministry of Public Works, we are very happy that East International, especially with you Liberian workers, that you can do this kind of work. We are impressed. The president said Liberians will not be spectators in their own economy.
That, folks, is a seasoned politician. I love it. I love it. You know, as a political junkie, we pay attention to these things from time to time. By the way, let's go on. Let's go on, folks. On a very serious note. This was a job the president was inspecting. Now, I want you to look at this after the KMT. I really, really appreciate KMTV for giving all these type of stuff, and I also appreciate the Republic of Liberia for allowing KMTV to just do a live broadcast without any kinds of filter or whatever. Give it to us as it is. Now, they're also giving us opportunity. I hope they don't stop that. Because if they shouldn't take people like Samson to comment to be something of trying to be degrading to their process. No. Whatever that I'm saying here, if these things that I'm going to be pointing out, if they are not of engineering international practices or engineering practices that are good for us, then they should discard it. But whatever that I'm pointing out, if it is something that they think they can utilize, then I hope they will pick on that. But they shouldn't consider me as being enemy of the state. Because if they do that, they will be wasting their time. That will not stop me from coming to Toll Town. The way you want to do, you do. But I hope they will understand that I'm not coming across as being some sort of criticizing because I want something from them or whatever. But what I'm going to be pointing out will be factual. I will do my best to point out things that they perhaps are missing. For example, the road that I'm going to be showing you, I want you to pay attention to the weight of the road. Most likely, and you will see the car itself. The length, if you measure the car from side to side, most likely you will get 6.5 feet, 7 feet the most. Okay? So the length of a road from one line to another is 12 feet. They do that so in case you're driving and you're sleeping, it takes a while before. Right now in the United States, they got what they call rumble strip. Rumble strip is when you're driving on those things and your car tire go through. That means you're outside of your lane. You're outside that white lane, and you're going outside more to the shoulder when you don't intend to, then you hear waking you up. They also do that in other states. Some other states, they do it, they have a center line rumble strip so that you don't have head-on collision, to avoid that when you're sleeping. So you hear the sound will be able to wake you up. They want to keep you in that line. Now, the road that I'm going to be showing you, look at it. There's no shoulder. And you will see that you will see for sure there's no shoulder, because there will be cars that will be coming towards us. And there's not even room for those who working or walking on the side of the road for the car to go through. So they have to slow down. Now tell me if there's any shoulder. Or are these people, the intent is to come back later and put the shoulder in? If it is, that's good. And if it's not, then it's bad. Because the community that lives to where this road going, they're going to be, obviously they're going to be driving car. And what makes you think you can't get flat tire? And if you have flat tire, where do you go on the road to fix it or even wait for the help? You want to park your car in the middle of the road? Those are kinds of things the young engineers need to think before you get involved in these things. Or road design. The first thing you want to do as a designer, like I said it before and I will say it again, as a designer, the first thing you want to do, road business specifically, what this facility is going to be used for is a facility for future development. And if it's so, how many cars 10, 15 years from now that will be able to utilize the facility that I'm going to be putting down? And how long is the facility? Those are the kind of questions you ask. And in order to answer those things, there are procedures, there are formulas that you put down that will give you an estimate. Everything is, even life itself is a bluffing thing. What makes you think you got to know what are you going to get up tomorrow? So even the work, the engineering work is estimate. But you want to have your estimate, the process itself, to come close to what you have in mind. So if you're going to design a road, if you're going to put the road down, because the president said, I want this place to have a paved road. What is the process? Why are we doing it? Who's going to use the road? How many people are going to use the road 10, 15, 16 years from now? And how long do I want the road to be? As an engineer, those are the questions you ask yourself, or you ask as a team. And once those questions are listed, then you try to engage each of those questions, each one of those questions, you try to answer them by working through the process. Look at this row I'm getting ready to show you. And tell me if this row have a shoulder. Another thing I want you to pay attention to, because I'll be narrating as I'm going through as well. Look at the paving, the concrete paving. Does it look like something you will want truck to be using 4 years from now? Look at it. This is almost like an industrial floor, or floor for factory, or floor for a driveway. This is not, and you will see from the background, you'll see the building is already going up. And when people see the kind of nice road, they look at it, the appearance of the road. They look at it, okay, I'm going to buy property on that side. That's a good road. Not knowing that this is not something that will support the quantities of users. The end user, once they start developing in that area, plenty of people want to use that road. Is that road ready for it? For that kind of utilization? Those are things that you ask as an engineer. Let's watch Samson told LeBron Public. Folks, I'm doing my best this afternoon. I'm slowing down, but we're doing our best. Let's watch this road. Samson told. Thank you, KMTV. We appreciate your effort. Let's watch.
A pleasant good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching from. Welcome once more to another coverage. This is KMTV Creative Minds on Television. And today we are on a daily tour in Montserrat County. Currently we're in District 6, Montserrat County.
Okay, look in the background. You see all the buildings up there? Now, it's already showing you that people live behind it. And people are going to be utilizing this road. Now, let's look at it. Now, the guy coming back towards us. Now, let's turn and look at it. Yes, they paving crew. Okay? The paving crew. Now, first thing you notice, you don't even see the concrete truck. That means they've already put this concrete down. We don't know how long the concrete been on the ground. We don't know what are the process they have, how long the concrete is supposed to last before they start rolling. We don't know these things. They're there. Okay? You see this? You see the machine they have over there that's supposed to roll, and it's resting on both sides of the form to form that will roll. Okay? Now watch that. Okay, there's another guy going to be running over there to try to balance, not balance it, but put weight on that. Watch it. You see he jumping on it, putting weight on it. What happened for me if I see that? Where's the other guy that's supposed to be on the other side to balance the weight? Nobody. Look at the other end. Nobody. Unless they're telling me that they have more concrete or a stone or rocks on that side to balance the weight, I found that faulty. Because what have happened is the area that's going to be lifted up from that machine, you're going to have a void in it. Now look at it. This is the road now. I want you to pay attention to the form. Now, most likely, this is not a 6-inch concrete. That's about 4-inch. I can look at it and tell. Okay? But let's look at it. As we keep going, watch, you will see the cover. You will see the cover. How do they connect this cover? Because the cover itself is made out of concrete. So how do they connect that to this concrete roll? You shouldn't put steel in it to connect it because you need a cover to breathe, to move. But in order to do that, you have to have an approach slab. That is not an approach slab, what I just saw. Yes, the other side over there. That's not an approach slab. Okay? Now let's keep going. You see the form now? Okay, now let's keep going. I will show you there's a spot that coming up here. You will see the rock exposed. The concrete is faulty already. Here's another cover they're going to go through. Now, where is the approach slab? Nothing. I don't see it. Now, watch this. Okay? They keep going now. Okay, now this is the form. Okay, look at, that's the concrete. You see the spot, and I love this guy, the cameraman. You see that spot right there? You see all the rock showing? Because it's not quite formed. Okay? There's a void in there, and the water go into that void. That road is done, complete, kaput, finito. Okay? Okay? Now he coming back. Look. I won't even take this job. I'll tell them to do something better than that. As an inspector, there we go. The road is gone. I don't want it. I'm not taking it. Okay? But let's keep going. So as we go on back towards the road now, all right? On the other side, you will find that they have steel. Okay? They have a steel that they put down. And I'm not going to say what size steel, because I don't know the strength of the concrete. What was the requirement, their design requirement for this concrete? I don't know that, so I'm not going to say what type of steel they're supposed to have. Look at the car. You see the car coming through? Now, is there any shoulder between that and the group? You see, if that road was done, if that car that went through, you think it would have parked somewhere else? Yes, it's steel I'm talking about. Okay? Now, that steel, usually when you put it, here's another one. You see the other car? You see, where's the shoulder that they're going to use? Nothing. Okay? Those are they supposed to be transfer joint. That's very interesting, 4 or 5 of them. It's very interesting. But I'm not going to question the process because I don't know. Look, you see the other car going by again? Where is the shoulder? Look at the other side of the form. Where you see any shoulder? And I see that man standing right there. That white man standing there. No shoulder. Okay. These are roads that people pay money. Last, look at the
A
main
pleasant
house.
good morning, good
Yeah.
afternoon, good
Okay.
evening, wherever
So
you're watching
let's
from.
get
Welcome
out of
once
it.
more to another coverage.
I just show you. Okay. Now, usually when you're doing these things, and I'm not questioning their motive. These brothers and sisters back home, they're working hard. To be honest with you, the condition they're working in, I'm not too sure if I was in Liberia, and I helped my friend to do some concrete pour at night. But most of the night while I'm sleeping, I'm so tired. You know, we did a pour, some kind of water and sewer building right there, right by the FE. We did a big pour that night, and I was tired. But anyway, the point that I'm trying to make here is, if you see the roll like that, look at the steel in it, and what's the reason behind the steel? I will tell you that later. That roll, it costs a lot of money. Why are you putting roll like that and not thinking about the future? You're building something almost from scratch. Even if the roll was there before, widen the roll. Widening the roll. Give the future user something they will be grateful for. So what happened at night? The person's driving far away from their destination. Boop, they got a flat tire. At night, they're going to park in the middle of the road. No lights to illuminate the area. So another car coming, what do you expect will happen now? Accident. Running into another car parking on the road. And we have so many of those kinds of accidents in Liberia already. Why do we continue to make these kinds of mistakes? Before you do a road design, another critical point when you do the traffic count and everything else, you do accident rate, especially if it's an old road. What is what happened? How many accidents they have? What was the result? How did it happen? How many people died? How many people got hurt? What was the result? You do all of those things in your report. And then based on that, you start your design process. What was the flaw within the old road? Does it have a side distance issue? Is it because the area always flooded? That's why the people, when they're driving, they can't even move? You do those type of investigation. And folks, I'm being very honest here this evening. I didn't see it here. I didn't see it here. I want to show you another video. In this video, I want to sincerely say thank you to, and I've been expressing my gratitude to the president here all evening. My concern that I continue to express is not that the president lack of wisdom, far from it, whether you like him or not, but for him to focus, let's focus on development in Liberia. He's not failing. It is those who are responsible that are failing, as far as I'm concerned. Those who were given the duty, those are the people that fail in this process. I will show you another video, but this one now is a vertical structure, which is, of course, building. And this is building, I believe, is something in around New Cruton area. Once again, if I, Samson Toll, were put in charge of building and putting something in New Cruton, the places I used to go play football, New Cruton, the place I used to be grown-up man, New Cruton, and you ask me to go ahead and put buildings down, I will look at it. First thing, we have a beach, erosion that is happening. Those things going to be considered into my design. Okay? But let's look at this building. And the president, my people, I don't know what else to say. The president have an agenda. Proper agenda. We're going to develop the country. And you want him as a president who has no engineering background, who has not done any kinds of building design before, who doesn't even have any knowledge about planning, city planning, whatever. You want him to be in charge, to say, put a building here, do this here, and do that here, then you're mistaken. The president comes out as the finance minister to provide the funding. The funding is there. Okay. Whether international community agreed to fund the area, whatever. But he has done his job. He told the community, I'm going to put a building here. How the foundation is designed, that's not his problem. He wants to put a building down. He can do as much as tell you, okay, Samson, yeah, I'm going to put a building down, but I want 2 rooms. Now, you as a designer, okay, is 2 rooms sufficient for this area, the population? Who are we going to provide this building to? What is the criteria for people to be qualified? All of those things have to be taken into consideration. But the president has done his job because he has what they call pro agenda for development. And you think the men are smart? It is the people who he designate that are not doing the job. And he's not the kind of person that go around, oh, you fire something, man, get out of here, man. You fire. Oh, John Brown, you fire. Oh, no, that's not who he is. He wants everybody to work together and make that place beautiful. But you people go around the area, oh, Doctor, yeah, Doctor, you're all kind of sinking and stuff like that. And you're expecting to say, do this or do that. You're giving a project to put building down in Nuclear Town. And you're going to give them Firestone type building. For goodness. You're going to give them building where they have no room to move between houses. For goodness. You're going to give them building where in case of an emergency, you expect people to get out of there. But the most likely the crowd might not even fit in between those houses. He says the president has done his job. The president said, I'm going to deliver. The president said, I'm going to develop. And he's developing. It is those who are responsible to carry out those development. Tell the president what square footage that is going to be needed. How many of those buildings that we're going to put down? What are the criteria that is required? What are the amenities that are going to be provided within the community? We don't do all of those things. I'm going to show you the building. It's a wonderful building. I'm not criticizing it. But if I was involved, we'll do better than that, to be honest with you. Because we're going to operate based on the funding that's going to be coming our way. But then who knows? Let me do a little bit of Liberian way of doing business now. Who knows when people cut corners? I don't know. But let's look at the building, folks. Samson to Liberian Public Radio. Let's look at the building now.
The president into one of the houses.
I want you to also pay attention between houses and certain things I will point out later. I want you to see something I'll point out later, folks. Responsible for the development, in my opinion, are failing the president. I'll point that out. I'm not eating for favor. We've been walking between houses now for more than 500 feet. one of those buildings, most likely they're like 40 feet wide. As I can see. And watch the position of the roof itself. I want you to pay attention to that because I will be pointing that out. As you can see, those people walking underneath the roof between two houses. The roof itself is facing each other. I want you to pay attention to that. This is a new construction. You see, construction. The president is developing. Those who are responsible for this type of development, you have to be an engineer to be able to see. And I read the point out. As they're going through between these houses, you guys are going between houses again. I want you to, you see the two roofs, right? They're facing each other. Aha! Aha! I love it when it happens like that. These are money that the president most likely has secured for international donor. Okay? Or whatever it may. These things are not for nothing. These are money. The first thing I want you to notice, okay? First of all, what is Liberia? I'm going to approach this here from the water standpoint. Liberia, you got dry season and rainy season. 6 months each. Look at that area. Does it look like anything paved? Forget pavement. Paving is too much. You're going to do those kinds of stuff. Did you see over almost 1,000 feet? Did you see any kinds of drainage to drain? It's going to rain. Forget drainage. The roof itself, did you see any kind of gutter in there that will guide the water as it comes off of those zinc or off of the roof, that will guide the water to go to a specific area so you don't have erosion? Did you see that in there? They're going to do it later. You know this is West a Nuclear Town. What do we have in Nuclear Town? It's a beach area. It's a sandy area. So if you don't provide for proper drainage, what will happen to those buildings 10 years from now? Just like my father building in Town. When it rained, you start seeing the building start going up, like the building getting higher and the floor because why? Erosion. Erosion. Why our people have to go through these things? You have people with PhD in Liberia. You mean they can't think? Okay, you tell me, Mr. Toe, but if the place is not finished yet, thank you. I'm pointing it out. So if it's not finished, make it part of your process. I'm not even going to the size of the building. That's not even my concern. But if you're going to do this, knowing fully well what Nuclear Town looked like before, it's going to rain. When it starts raining, what will happen? Did you see any grass over there? Here's the thing here about water business. In hydraulics, when you start, I'm going to throw something here at you, and I don't expect you to know. But they call what they call many equation. In your hydraulics, they have the calculation of a water dropping here. How long will it take you to get over there? They have the calculation. But here's what they do. They say, okay, from here there, so many feet. It's supposed to take so many time. But what is the condition? Is this place grassy? If it's grassy, it takes more time before it gets to this point A and point B. If it is paving, if it is asphalt, it takes less time because it's smooth. That makes sense. If it is just dirt, it takes a little bit. They have the numbers. The building, though, between those buildings you look at, does it look like anything they have slope in it at all to say they're going to go slope it down away from the building? You're building something like this, knowing fully well, I didn't see no gutter. So I assume the rain going to come down like this and fall right in between that. If you're going to do something, slope it so that it will get away from the building. And what do you do in between those things? You put in the water ditch. A ditch, you don't have to use concrete. You can use coal tar. They got coal tar ditch. Concrete expensive. So you put asphalt ditch to be able to control the waters to avoid erosion, so that this president job can last when he leaves office, my people. But look at the kind of fine building they put down. Next season, next rainy season, if they don't fix that place, go back there and show me. And you'll see erosion start taking control of that area. Why? Why? Why do we continue to put ourselves in a position that are not conducive for all of us? Folks, what I'm saying, is it bad? Am I trying to degrade anybody? It's a judgment. Let me now go on before I go I'm going to show you very quickly here. Let me show you why I showed this the other day, but let me just do that very quick. I'm not going to, the road itself, well, before I do that, let me show you when you're putting road down, how do you saw the first pavement, concrete pavement. The other side is all dirt. So eventually they're going to put concrete pavement down. How do they connect those two pavements to be one? And here is how you do it. I didn't see that. I saw maybe one or two steel rods sticking out. I don't know. But look at this. This is how you connect the two pavements to be one. Besides the transfer joint that's supposed to transfer the weight from one side to another, this is how you do the two pavement, two lane to be one. So it doesn't become separated. This is how you do it. Let me play that for you. Samson told LeBron Public Radio. Here we go. You see this? Remember putting that steel in there. Those are steel that connect the two pavements. You see that? You see how they remember putting that? You want to make sure, because they specify those things. They're not just taking steel from total and you put it in there. They specify. You see how they line up? Okay? Look at it. You finish pouring the other side. He's taking the cap so that they will pour the side that they're still sticking up. Why? You see how he's taking the foam out? He's going to remove the foam. Now they're still exposed. He's going to pour against that. When he poured against that with those steel sticking out, the steel now becomes the part that controls the both sides of the road to be one. Okay, that's one. Let's go to the other one. I'm not even going to show this one. Which one that I want to show next? Okay. All right. Okay. Now, when you're done with the row itself, you have to cut. And you will say, Mr. Toll, you just finished paving. Yeah. Yes, watch these. They're cutting into the row. And why do you do that? Why you think these people are cutting into the concrete road they just made? And they're cutting it across. They're not cutting it along the road. They're cutting it across the road. The reason is simple: to control the crack. The crack that going to eventually be developed in concrete. Concrete always develop crack. There's no question asked. Because the ground, it doesn't matter who you are, what you do, the ground will always give from one point to another. So those are things that are expected of any concrete pavement. And therefore you take into consideration the crack. The surface crack, the bottom crack, yes, but we're not going to worry much about it. And I'll tell you who's going to take care of the bottom crack. The top crack comes about when you have compression. Concrete will take compression. It can't take strength. It can't take tension. Simple as that. And that's why you would do this. Let me show you now. Here's the concrete, okay? Yeah, it's concrete. Concrete is good at compression, right? That when you're putting all the pieces, when you're pressing concrete from one side to another, pressing it against each other or pressing towards it, it takes a long time to break than it is if you lay the concrete down and try to press on it, it'll break quicker. And here's the reason here. You see how the concrete, the bottom one, all the point lows on it, you see the bottom crack in there, and that's why you put steel. You put rebar in there to control the tension at the bottom. If you don't have no steel in there, it's gonna crack and break out. But if you have steel, the steel will control the tension at the bottom. Okay. Samson told LeBron Papa, I'm showing you these things so that you will be able to understand the next time when I bring out roll because it seems that Liberians now, no matter what it is, they're trying to go with concrete roll. In fact, one of the former minister of public works, Judy Moore, very intelligent, smart guy, but he went up there. He has no clue on engineering whatsoever. He went and stood over there in public at the legislature and said, we're putting concrete road down because concrete love water. Are you kidding me? Because you know why he said that? Because he saw the piers then sticking out of the water for the bridge. The design, the makes design of the thing are not the same. Don't tell me concrete love water. But anyway, he said that. Okay. Let me show you the last important part of what is happening in Liberia, then I will put it up for comment and call here tonight. You do all of these things. What did I say? The most important thing as a designer, as an engineer, one of the most important things in any project, in any kinds of facility you put up, whether it be a vertical facility or horizontal facility, your number one priority is safety. Safety. As long as you decide to dig up something, as long as you decide to put something down for it to be utilized by public or for something for people to walk around or see something or be part of that, part of the environment, as long as you're changing from natural environment to something man-made, safety number one. Look at this, folks. This too is Liberia. This too is the same road project. I want you to pay attention to the steel, the amount of steel sticking up. One of the things you will find in Liberia, they have steel sticking up when they're building these ditches and no cap. Safety is nothing to these people. They don't care about people's life. And I can say that because of what I'm seeing. Simple stuff. And this thing, you don't need $1 million to put a cap on top of a steel rod. To put a cap on top of steel rod so people fall down, they don't get hurt. All you need, you have all those steel sticking up, you put 2x4 over them. You can guide that. Somebody fall, they will fall on top of the 2x4 instead of on top of one of those steel. And I will show you that. But let's watch this video. And those of you that have been to Liberia lately, you will understand that this thing all over Monrovia. They leave these things open channel, whatever they call it. But they leave these steel sticking up. It doesn't matter what else, and I will show you. It doesn't matter whether in a school zone or nothing. You got kids jumping over these ditches, open ditches. What there's an accident? How do you, my people, yeah. But watch this.
The guys who are making sure that they give this particular
KMTV
area
again, giving us a
working
wonderful thing.
very hard. You listen to him over
look at
a 2 kilometer stretch of this particular road from the junction coming as far as the Vogamation Public School. The president is in a little chip chat again with the Public Works Minister and some other senior government officials. He has again entered his
look, you see that guy
some of the students
here
waiting to see the president.
Look at students. Look at students.
To see the president of the Republic of Liberia.
They are young kids.
Well,
so some sort of emergency.
In their uniforms.
Some sort of emergency. And
let's see
young
if
people start running. How do you protect them? And these things happen, they're all over Monrovia. I told you before, these people, the contractors that are coming in there, unless you make them to do it, their intent is to make profit. They will cut as many corners as you allow them to do. And most of the people in public work, they know about these things. They're not stranger to these kinds of things I'm talking about. They know these things. But I don't know why. You're living still sticking up in the school zone. In this place, you open hole at the end of the construction time. Whether you finish or not, that hole must be closed. And most of the time, those of you that drive these streets, sometimes you see the hole covered with steel plate. 2 inches thick sometimes, an inch thick sometimes. Depends on how deep the hole may be. But they will never leave hole open at night. If there's in fact, if you're driving, they will tell you uneven pavement. And what is the uneven? Maybe about 1 inch, 2 inch different. They call it uneven pavement to warn you. But here we are. We have an open pit, open ditch. We're still lining up, sticking up like alligator teeth. Now let me show you. Simple fix. I want you to pay attention to this video. This is what I keep saying. Everything that I'm saying here, you can Google it and fact check me immediately, like that. You don't have to wait till tomorrow. So why is it these people, intelligent people, highly educated, master degree, why can't they even do little research? So they say, oh, I drove on a road yesterday. I saw all those things sticking out. People, children, why aren't they thinking about the kid's future? Somebody go run, small kid run into that thing. He get killed. Person in his leg. He crippled for life. Why? Why? Let me show you now how to fix this thing. Samson told, please, when you guys write these kind of comment, then it just defeat the purpose. Nobody's stealing anything. We are not stealing nothing. So please spare me that. But let me play this video. I want you to pay attention to the video. Okay? These are the fixes you can do. Very simple. Very simple. Watch this. You see this man falling? Look at it still sticking up there. What do you think will happen to him now if you were to fall? Look what they put underneath now. You see all those steel sticking out? When you fall, that thing, the only thing you can do is break a bike. Maybe. Look at this other man falling down. I took the other one because it was too graphic, so I took it up. Because I think we're going somewhere else that I don't want to show. But look at this. Look how many steel sticking up. And look what it did with the wood. See that? You think how much it would cost a contractor to put 2x4 on there? 2x4. Just line the whole thing with 2x4. Look at the man falling. 2x4 going to stop. Look at the other man falling now. Look what happened. Watch what they're going to put underneath. Watch. Here we go. The only thing, this thing is simple. Look how much it takes. Open it, click it down, bloop. you're done. Look at the cap. Real life story. This is not ammunition. This is cap. The cap you put over steel. These are things you can make in Liberia. They got rubber. They got Firestone over there. These are all rubber cap. These are all rubber cap that you can you can go to the Liberian engineer polytechnic and say, we want you all to make cap. These children will try their best. Why you can't test these young people to develop themselves, to develop their mind? You don't have to come to the United States to purchase these things. Samson told LeBron Public Radio, folks, let me go ahead and put my number up there. Like I said, these are not something to take lightly. These are very dangerous stuff that we have to take in. If we're going to say we want to be in a civilized world and want to do construction that are involved with people's lives and things. Here's the thing about Dr. Weah in the construction business. He wants to better off people's life. He doesn't put anything down for people to suffer. He wants people not to suffer, but those who are responsible, highly educated, well-trained. But when they get to Liberia, they put their training one side. They say they don't want that to apply. They're not farm. The Liberians, these are my son live over there. He's a human being, for Christ's sake. He ride motorbike. So what if he were to fall in what? Oh my goodness. God, Jesus, help us out. Why is some kid riding a motorbike fall into that kind of stuff? How are you going to protect them? And you'll let the foreign company come to Liberia, do these kinds of stuff, and go home at night, where their kids are back home, all doing well. And you want our own children to go home, get hurt, and then we say, yeah, we're fine. Samson told LeBron Public Radio, I'm going to go ahead. Let me go ahead and put the number up. Give me a call and tell me whether I photo it or I'm doing something that you think is necessary. So, me again tonight, that Samson told. And let me test, let me see if my, first of all, let me check if my connection is ready for you to call one device. Let's see what device is. Okay. All right, we're ready. Give me a call, Samson to LeBron Public Radio. I've talked a lot, so I'm going to play music until you call me. If not, I'm going to be out of here very quickly here tonight as well. It's Monday afternoon. We got other things we have to do. But I thought that I bring this thing to your attention, to be honest with you. Dr. Weah is doing exactly what Dr. Weah said he's going to do, develop. And those of us, he can't do it by himself. When he called you to help, first be sincere with him and provide all the necessary things that will move Liberia forward. Samson talk. That's my number right now. Give me a call. Samson to LeBron Public Radio. Thank you very much for joining us tonight.
You're
Samson told LeBron Public Radio, what's your name, where you're calling from, what's on your mind?
My name is Nathan Cohen, calling from Trenton, New Jersey.
Thank you very much for your call. We appreciate it. Go ahead, express yourself, sir. What's on your mind?
What you just said and your demonstration here is very disturbing. I mean, imagine, Mr. So imagine you who is a certified engineer. I know nothing close to a fight. But for the demonstration, just by looking at those P-Roy shooting out there, and these are people that we contracted from outside our country, even though we have engineers in our country, and from the work that they're showing, look how disappointing that is. I understand the president is trying to get ahead of himself, but don't do it out of desperation to the point that you bring in the detriment of the people. And the Liberian people will get in the street, they celebrate the thing, not knowing the danger ahead of them. I remember I was in Liberia, Freeport. There was some dedicated ceremony going on there. They see the road. After 6 months, you can pass on that road. They sing the jet was under the water. And you cannot spend public money and then come back 6 months time and start to spend the whole thing. I don't know our leaders who gave this contract out, if they are checking the history of these contractors, the history of their work, what track record they have to award them these contracts. They go to their countries, they lay down there. I was in Liberia, they contract. People are dying as a result of their contract, falling in holes. And Liberian kids, we play on the street. We play freestyle ball on the street. Not knowing what lies ahead of us. We play freestyle ball on the street. I remember the first and third time I tell us face to face to Matali play football on the street. So he brought racking, the X1 would be on the racking. So when I got a little older, after high school, I saw him 7 seconds. I thought he was taking questions. He has an interpreter. I said, why? Nobody beat me and this, that. He said, how did beat you? I said, what did? He said, you see, I told them not to carry guns. So if that gun they have on that day that you're talking about, will you be able to talk? I said defeated. Because we don't regard the laws because we trust our government to protect us. This kind of, I mean, it's so disappointing that everything we do is start on a tier grade level and end on a 4 grade level. These roads, 5 years from now, we need renovation. And the president will take credit. I did that. It's true. He means well. But find the best. It's better you don't do it than do it in a that creates harm. It's your own reputation. And we got to find people. We pay people at the Ministry of Public know these things. Like he said, we got students who are engineers. I mean, let it be for their thing. Let them make these things that can help. This kind of drainages and this kind of steroid, taking out it's so frustrating. Really.
Thank
And
you.
when you talk, the opposition and this, that, but anyway, Mr. So, thank you very much for the time. And thank you for the show.
Thank you, my brother. We appreciate it. And folks, we will continue to not necessarily. I'm not going to call it exposing, as though when you say exposing, that means somebody is doing bad. That's not the intent here. And I also want you guys to take this clearly. And I'm not here to defend the government. And Dr. Williams, people can defend themselves, quite well. They don't need me. But the point here is this: he's focused on the development. It doesn't matter how small it is. You stay here in America. You tell people back home to build a house for you. They're the one who will tell you, okay, how many rooms you want? You say this. Okay, where do you want it? You say here. Say, okay. They go and price the area, and they tell you. That's how it's supposed to be done. Not just the president say, "Oh, I want houses in the area." Then he say, "Okay, that's better now." You know what? He, my granddaughter, there's a guy. According to the story, I wasn't born at the time, but according to the story, long time ago, there's a guy called Puya. So somebody, the chief ice king said, "Tomorrow you're gonna go to Plo." He said, "Oh, okay." By the time the day king, you were gone. Because the day before the chief told him tomorrow you're gonna go to Plo. Before the morning come, he was gone. So they said, "But where Puya?" He said, "Oh, the man gone." He said, "Where?" He said, "But what are you going for? He doesn't know." That's exactly. The president said, "I want houses here." The next thing you know, he start pulling out the houses and things. I hope that's not how it happened. But I just thought that I put that in there. Folks, give me a call, Samson, to LeBron Public. I really appreciate, here's the thing here. There's so many things going on in Liberia. And these people can handle themselves. These are people, and I will address those things as information become more available. I don't want to get into something, especially in the realm of politics, and start speculating here and there. Now, in this area, engineering, no speculation. Those of you that are making comments here about steel run, then call me and let's talk about it and see how far you're gonna go. Call me. If you know you're making comment here, call me. Call me now. And then you see how far we can go with a conversation. Don't just write. Call me and say, "What did you think is this?" If you want lesson from me, call me. If you want to engage and question my ability, call me. And we go from there. You know what I say about Freetown Man? Freetown Man, when he said, "Oh, man, the Freetown Man too short," he said, No. I shot from your height, but we don't measure the body. Let's measure from the shoulder up and see who's high. Samson to LeBron Public, folks. Give me a call here. Let's go ahead and continue to play more music, and I'll be out of here very shortly. Give me a call. I want to show you one other thing here before I take leave of you this evening. I want to play
Is there building going on here?
This is a construction site. Here is some of the things that I keep saying. In a construction zone, if you're going to have people to come in, you have that place has to be designated as being construction zone. Just like you do with crime scene, you put ribbon around. You designate an area. Don't cross certain area. Can you imagine if one of these spectators go and fall in a hole where the president is going? And if you're going to, yes, these are some of the things that President is a president of the Republic of Liberia. Just like Donald Trump. Just like any French president. Just like any other president, the president of our country. If you're going to let him to come to this kind of construction site, you must be able to protect him. Samson told Liberian Public, can I just finish my statement here, please? And I'll be picking on your call. You have to protect the president. You make yourself of some sort of a buffer zone where the president will walk at a safe distance. But look at the people you have over there. Go ahead, my brother, sister, whoever you are. What's your name or where you're calling from? What's on your mind?
I'm calling from Minnesota. My name is Moses Donor. I'm calling from Minnesota. I called to be on the show.
Thank you for calling. What's on your mind, sir?
I want this document of cost card based in Liberia.
Okay, go ahead. It's a show. Go ahead.
This brother left from the States with Liberia on the 17th of December.
I'm the host of the show, but I have no clue on what you're talking about. But I will let you explain yourself, and then we can take it from there. But that's not what I'm discussing, and I'm not quite prepared to answer. If there's a question about that coming to me, and then I think you're back in the wrong tree. But go ahead. Okay. All right, go ahead then.
See, I don't mind. I just want to talk about his document.
I appreciate it. Thank you. I just want to lay it out so you would know as well. Go ahead.
Yeah, on the 19th, on the 17th of December, and went Ghana and later from Ghana to Liberia. In Ghana, he used a laissez-passer. From there, he went to Liberia. And you know, when you use laissez-passer and go to Liberia, the government sees a laissez-passer for everybody. Okay. Laissez-passer that he used in Liberia, it expires on the 5th of December. I want to believe if this laissez-passer was done the original from the government, I don't think he supposed to be allowed entry, or even if he allowed entry, the government should raise that issue from the beginning. But you can't take the person laissez-passer from there. After 3 weeks, you see it's fake, it's forged. I mean, the government is wrong on that aspect. The government is wrong. You can't do that. We believe the government, they are trained. They know the false one and they know the good one. If you say that it was in the same nature and the same was forged, wow, that was sense, my brother. But you, man, after 3 weeks, you bring it back, you say, well, this was forged. I mean, it's just unacceptable. We can't accept these things. These are mere wishes. Then now this brother is about to come to the States. This time he's not using laissez-passer. He's about to use his original Liberian passport. You don't want to come. Then you raise each one of the laissez-passer that already expired on the 5th of December. The government be investigating and expire less percent. Why would the government be investigating a less percent that has spent more than 3 weeks of them? They didn't raise any kind of less percent. But after 3 weeks, what you receive from the man is forged. Do you think this is accepted anywhere in the world? The government has to start doing these things. We all know the government position and custom position. When you are wrong, you are wrong. I don't care you are government can run individual. In a situation, let's forget what you did all along. But my brother, where you are right now, I cannot take your stuff from you and kill it after 3 weeks and bring it and say, you know what? This is I do for you. It was this. You can deny it. Being in your position being in my position for more than 3 weeks, I can do anything. So I want to believe that the government has any power cost. They should tackle that power for the beginning or the very day to do it for him. This could be it could even be you, it could be me. That would be very fair in this situation. Okay, that would be fair. No, Costco and the government they are fair. But in a situation, I think the government's wrong the brother. The government run the brother. You get them a story, keep it after 3 weeks, then he says it was forged. But the book is correct. I think the statement is forged. Why didn't raise this ever since 3 weeks ago? Why didn't raise it? You say because you were busy. Is that a business if I'm busy with protest? Do your job. The government need to do her job. So the government running there. The man need to why if they want to raise this guy, they want to raise this issue from the beginning. They should have raised the beginning from the very day where we expect everybody that want to government to be honest people, to be well trained. They should know the forge. They should do the fake document, Liberian document. Okay, that's what I have on my mind to say, my brother.
Thank you.
To explain it. Sure.
Thank you, my brother. Appreciate it. let me read this guy comment.
Okay.
Thank you, my brother. We appreciate it. Thank you very much. Let me read this guy comment. He said, "This radio station is for criminal leadership. So yes, they don't discuss the wrong thing of this criminal government." My brother, man, you guys, I tell you, Liberians, you're killing us, you know. But I don't blame you people making these kinds of comments either. But here is some of the things on a very honest note. And these are some of the reasons why we continue to say that a government that intended for development, you don't go around bringing things to yourself. I just giving an example, and this is just a free example here. I spent almost 2 hours talking about development, things that this president have done and the thing that he continued to do. And I didn't even break anything more than 50 viewers. However, I didn't wait over that either. I didn't let that deter me. I continue to talk about things, about development. And this young man, see, this is not that he wasn't watching, but he found it necessary to bring this thing that is happening in Liberia, to bring it up. Now, what happened? Not that he wasn't paying attention, or not that the safety aspect of his brothers and sisters in Liberia walking among the steel rod or whatever you want to call it, they're not important. But here is from this little platform. These are things that if you engage in as a government, you let the important thing get away. Just as this young man tried to veer my conversation toward the Custer issue, the international community is also watching. And those who are supposed to be praising the government for bringing out development and things, because of their continuing shooting themselves in the foot by paying attention to things that have nothing to do with development, they will continue to suffer defeat. Yeah, what this young man brought up here, after I spent almost 2 hours pointing out development that this president continued to do. But that's not the main topic. For many, if I were to come out tonight and decide to discuss the laissez-passer issue, I most likely would have gone up to 100 and something people coming in. If the government will continue to do these kinds of stuff, then it's difficult for those of us who believe in this president's developmental agenda to try to explain to our Liberian brothers and sisters. Because believe it or not, Mr. President, as long people are not engaged, you can do all of the development you want to do. They might not see it. Don't get me wrong. Physically, yes. But they will not see it as it is. And they most likely might not even want to appreciate that. And I'll pick up the Costa issue on another day. I just thought that I'd throw that in there, just to give you an example. And this is just Liberian Public Radio. Yes, a young man here making a comment that this radio station belongs to a criminal leadership. Now, he has no proof whatsoever. But when you step on things, when you put yourself into a situation that has nothing to do with development, that will slow you down. Do you know today, there's another video out there, and I've not seen it all day since I've been perusing over Facebook. I've not seen it from the Liberian community. There's a video out there where sport and youth minister, and finance minister are now trying to put a program together to employ youth. That would not be number one subject matter. As long as these people that continue to find enemy of the state and they are taking control of this government, the developmental agenda, and whatever development that this government is doing, it's not going to be out there. They will not, you can play it all day. They're not going to pay attention to it. If Costa were to be here in America, and the government, why do you think Dr. Weah was showing off the other day, inspecting from project to project? Because you think people are stupid? They just had a protest. You're also going to have to show that despite the protest, these are things that I'm doing, which is quite right. But how many people are not going to pay attention to the kind of thing? I spent an hour here tonight trying to enumerate those things. And this young man came by. He said, "Thank you very much." I'm just paraphrasing. "Thank you very much," but that's not what's on my mind. And you can come out here and give me a call and express yourself. Nobody's going to stop you. But I'm just saying this, that as long those who have nothing to offer, they will always find people enemy of the state. And from a broad standpoint, I mean, this is just my situation here tonight. What happened between this young man and myself? That's just a little, it doesn't even count. But from a broad perspective, from international standpoint, these things happen. There's another article, I believe it's BBC or some other article, where they're saying that President George Weah is now being, what words do they use? Ice to produce. Having won the election, now Liberians don't believe he can produce. Something to that effect. And instead of engaging in those things with a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful paper, what they call a proper agenda for development. And the president is sure, even if these roads are all bad, those are the process. Those who are responsible for the processes themselves are not doing well. But the intent coming from the president, if people were to serve him correctly, he's doing good. but they continue to find enemy of the state. And Costa will continue to eat their lunch. And yes, they just I'm not, I just said lunch. Having had 2 hours of my time trying to tell people how this government is doing. Costa just took my lunch and took the president's lunch and ate it because the young man brought about Costa. And I bet you if you go now from the time that young man made a comment, if you start reading all of the comments the people have been writing since he made that call, they're all towards that process. Nobody going to talk about how much road development. And the road issue is one of the most important things affecting all of us. But as long as the government continue to focus on what I consider minute aspect of the Liberian politics, they're wasting their time. And before I close, I'm not even going to take call now. I'm going to go and play the music and close. Before I close, as long as the government continue to do that, Costa will eat their lunch every day. Because if I was involved, the COP will be propped up. Because they can help this government. They can help Dr. Weir. Not only engage the executive, but I will make them to engage the legislature as well. And they can serve a good purpose. But instead, we pick up one individual. All of the things COP doing, we pick up one individual. And because of the individual behavior towards the president, we turn everything COP doing to that one individual. Folks, Samson told LIBERIA Public Radio, I'll play this one night and then I will say good night to all of you. It's been a wonderful, wonderful time. We just saw it again. If you fool around with things that have nothing to do with development, this is what comes out. And I'll come back again Wednesday. I'll bring some more. If I see anything that the president have done and the people put it out there, I will promote that because I believe in development. Not that I don't care about Costa issue or what have you. It's not like that. But I will take time this Wednesday. If I see any other development issue, I'll make it into a show. But then this Wednesday, I will discuss other issues as well. Samson told LIBERIA Public Radio, thank you very much. You don't need to call anymore. Let's do this. Let's do that before people. Okay, here we go. That means the calling is over. Samson told LIBERIA Public Radio. Thank you very much, and good night, folks. Okay, here we go. I want to welcome Big Brother, boy, thank you for all the way from Norway. So I just have to come back in and say thank you for watching. We appreciate it, but I have to say good night too as well. Anyway, thank you very much, folks. Samson to LIBERIA Public
You're Jonah.